Here is Nago, he has a blood gouge. If this fills up, he starts losing health. They gave Yamamoto a blood gouge. I assume this is to follow the theme of restraint, because Yamamoto's opponents often had to do something to not fight him at full power. That spawned a Hakuda version of Yamamoto that in turn led to Fire Fist Yamamoto, which is the coolest flipping shit ever. I wish there was some reference to that, or just to Hakuda in general on his moveset. Has a cool Fire Beyblade move though, but here is Nago's Beyblade. It fills up his blood meter, so now he has to land certain moves in order to keep it from rising. To compensate, they made him a one-shot character. You can see a lot of TODs online, and though a bit difficult, he is never considered weak. Yama just has to land normal attacks to keep his meter from rising, and he also is considered a big damage one-shot character in a game where Byakuya can do a parry, and that takes out like 30% damage. Just knowing that there is a certain level of confidence, you can tell that there is no way that this character is going to be bottom tier. He's like an easier Nagoriyuki. Furthermore, they have the same weakness, where Nago can't dash or run like the other characters. While in Yama's trailer they hammer that he has a very low mobility. Even his stats confirm all that. High damage, low mobility. This is case closed, you know what to think of a character, right? And then there is Aizen. For some reason he has two defensive specials, one of which is Kinpachi-like mechanically, but is described Gang Orca-like visually. The other one is at first thought like Mortal Kombat's flawless block, making everything punishable, but I noticed that the attack goes through Aizen, and I thought it would be much cooler if it was more like his stance in Dragon Ball FighterZ, because that would imply that what's standing in front of you isn't Aizen but his illusion, which brings us back to the meme that Kyoka Suigetsu is always active. Which it is, because at the very start of the battle you have protection against opponent's first finishing move, revealing that all of that was just an illusion. I hope the way they handled it is Momo appears instead of you and she takes the hit. Top 3 funniest things they can do with this character. But they didn't go illusion route, they went evolution route. That's one of his primary goals, so alright. Unlike Yama, however, I can't tell where this character is going. All because he doesn't upgrade his existing moveset. He changes it entirely. Then going from what they wrote to describe one of the forms, that it is weaker than his normal state, but it is easier to hit people from the distance with it, they all have their weaknesses and strengths. There are a lot of forms for Goku and Vegeta, but depending on a game, one or the other is the strongest. The question is, how long do we get to stay in the strongest form? Because according to descriptions, sometimes you're forced to move to the other forms, in exchange for your awakening meter filling automatically. I do like that his in-game stats mirror his unmasked databook stats, that's kinda neat. But even if he has the best stats, this is still the type of character that will require you to lab, and even then it will all come down to the quality of life in the lab. By the gods, please add replay and training recording functions. I think it's the funniest for the characters like Ikkaku. He has a stance out of that 3 options. If he can't launch out of any of these options, he's screwed. I'm not complaining because I'm not planning to main Ikkaku, and visually he looks stunning, plus his Bankai looks incredible, except of maybe the way he says it. I also find it funny that there are a lot of characters with different meters in this game, but Ikkaku is the only one who has actual meter in the show. With Aizen, it doesn't matter if this move can't launch or it's bad, you get the next form and maybe it's better there, or maybe it's not better there. I'm not waiting for one Bankai form to be my savior, I have 3 or 4 chances to still have a very strong form. He's like a Schrödinger top-bottom middle tier. It's not obvious what's good, what's not, what's gonna be good like it is with Yama or Ikkaku. The only real surprise you can pull off if somehow every single one of these forms is bad. But that's not possible, right?